Hi again, welcome back. So in this video, we're moving to the next coding exercise. It is asked that to write a program that reads two numbers from the user and we do a math operations. Like we also asks two numbers and also asks one math operations. Then perform the taken operations on the given numbers. So to do this, firstly, we know that we need to have at least two numbers to do the operations, and then one mathematical operations like we can consider addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Then, based on these information that the user is giving, it computes the result. So let's dive in. First of all, we define two numbers called num1 and num2 as double. And then in order to store the math operations, we need a character because it's like the signs are like this. So these signs are able to be stored in one character, not like in data types like integer or float or double. So firstly, we start by showing the information, reading the input and storing it in the first number in num1 using cin function. Then we ask the user to enter one operator like plus, minus, times, division, and we store the operator in the OP that is initialized as a char. And then we ask the user to give us the second number. When the user says the second number, it is stored in num2 using cin function. So these are the things that we learned from the previous section. So if conditions here. In order to see what operation the user is asking and is looking for, we need to have if conditions. So here, if you remember from before, we have the if condition, and within the parentheses, we put the condition. We say that if OP, which was the math operator that the user gave us, equals, using two equal sign, equals plus. And this is plus is within two commas, let's say, because it's important to have it because it is a character. So then if this condition is true, it enters this bracket, and in this bracket we mentioned that the result is num1 plus num2, and we print the result for the user. However, if this condition is not true, the else if condition here is used. We mentioned that if OP equals subtraction, like in quotation mark or in quotation signs, if this condition is true, then enters the bracket. So when it enters the bracket using cout function, here, it prints the result saying that the result column, then we say num1 minus num2 and endl in the end. The same thing goes for the multiplication. We check else if the OP equals the star sign, and then if it's true, it enters here and do the mathematical formulation and write down the result to the output. And another thing that is here, the last but not the least, is the else if OP equals the division sign. But there is something that we need to make sure in the division sign. What is that? So if this condition is passed, it enters the statement part of this else if condition. So this part is all for this last else if. So here within this else if, we have another if. So it is nested if, let's say. So we check if num2 does not equal 0. If we want to check something that equal something, we use two equal sign, and if we want to make sure that it is not equal something, we have this exclamation mark and equal sign. So we make sure number 2 that the user gave us does not equal 0, because it's a problem. If we are going to divide a number by 0, it should returns an error. So here it says make sure this condition passes and number 2 does not equal 0, then enter this condition. Here, when that condition passed, we print the num1 divided by num2, and else, so else, what would be the condition for else? Whatever but not this condition, whatever but not this condition in this if statement. So in the if statement, we were saying num2 does not equal 0. So else would be whatever but not this, saying that, okay, if num2 equals 0, it is saying something like this, but it is like behind the scene. We need to understand it when we read the code. So it says if it equals 0, we return an error saying that division by 0. So the user knows that they made a mistake in the input file. And that's it. This is the end of this if and else nested conditions. And the last one that we saw here for the else if was here, and else that this else comes back to this level. You see, to this level, and like discussing these things, and this else is for this level. So it is, as you see, it starts a bit later in the line, so it's a nested if. So else, so if the user does not mention addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, else we need to say invalid operator. So they made a mistake when they were entering the data. So let's try and see how it works. It would be easier to understand it after that. So enter the first number, I would say 20. Then it says enter one operator, I would say addition, and enter the second number, I would say 12. So it says the result is 32. So let's see the code and understand how it started doing it. So here, as you see, we had the first message, first number stored, the operator message, the operator stored in a character, and the third message, the second number stored in num2. Then it starts with the first if. It says op equals addition. So is it true? Yes, this is what I mentioned there. So it goes to this statement and says that the result, and then do the math part here. So let's do it again with other parts, like if I say this time 12 and we use the multiplication, and then I would say 2, it gives us the result 24. Let's see it from the code here. So it starts with this if condition. Does OP equals addition? No. Then it escapes simply. Else if. Does OP equals minus or subtraction? No. It then escapes again. It does not enter the statement. So here, does OP equals star sign? Yes. Then when it's true, it enters here and it does the calculation for us. So, and finally, let's do something with the division. So if I say the first number is 10, and we want to divide it by 2, for example, it gives us the result 5, as like the others. So let's see. So it starts from the here again. Does it equal addition? No. Does it equal subtraction? No. Does it equal the OP? Does it equal multiplication? No. Does it equal division? Yes. It enters then the condition. Okay, when it enters this condition, the following if condition must be met also. So here it checks again. If number 2, it says that the second number that we had here, like 2, does it equal 0 or not? if it does not equal 0, then enter here. So it doesn't. So number 2 was the number that I chose for this. So it says, okay, it does not equal to, then okay, it does the math formulation for us. But if, let me choose the second number to be 0, like I would say 10 division and then 0. What, okay, you see what the error is. So here, it checks here, does OP equal division? Yes, it enters. It says, does num2, the second number, equals 0 or not? It says, does it equal 0 or not? So if it does not equal 0, it enters here. But since it is equal 0, it escapes this condition and goes exactly to this else part. It says that error, division by 0. So we need to make sure that we are not making error in the input file so it can compute something for us also. And let's try once more for the last time. I would say the first number is 10. Like, what is the operator that I would like to do? I would just write something like this. So for example, I made a typo or something, and the second number is 20. So here it says that invalid operator. So let's check. Here in this part, it checks, does it equal addition, subtraction, multiplication, division? No. Then it escapes all of these, and then it gets to this else part saying that invalid operators because it does not equal to neither of the above mentioned conditions. So this is how, in fact, this was a very good example of how if conditions work. I would suggest practicing these coding exercise many times so you can understand the logic behind it and also logic in the nested if conditions. Thanks for watching.